Peace. Good morning, family. How you doing? It's Mr. R2 here at Consistency is Currency, your morning podcast of choice. And weirdly, I don't even know if that's a word. Could be. If it's not, I just made it up. Don't steal. That's plagiarism. Um, so got up this morning to go uh, walk, and oddly, it was kind of chilly outside. And I was like, wow, it's like April going into May, and it's still kind of chilly. Global warming is very real, 100%. So yeah, and I didn't feel like taking off my hoodie, so I kept it on. So yeah, peace. Good morning, Miss Selena. So I kept it on. It was kind of chilly. So not that it's chilly in here, but it was chilly outside this morning. So I had to put the hoodie on. I got this fan. Okay, it's off. So now, yeah. So good morning, everybody that has been here thus far, and everybody that's coming. I pray that your day will be blessed. I pray that your day will be bountiful. I pray that your day is the beginning of your harvest. And I am glad and thankful to be on this side of the dirt right along with you, because if you can see me and I can see you, obviously we have one more chance to either build it or one more chance to rebuild it. We all have things that we're working on in our lives. We all have things that we're building in our lives. And we all have the ability to reconstruct the things that we feel that we need to construct. Peace, Dr. Omar. She's on this morning. All right. So everybody that's watching, thank you. Appreciate it. YouTube, appreciate it. Podcast, space, appreciate it. I will always say this. So if you don't like me repeating this, I don't care. I'm just going to keep saying it, because sometimes we need to hear that someone sees us. Sometimes we need to hear that someone appreciates us. I will always be the igniter of appreciation. So what I want to do this morning, peace, good morning, Ms. Williams. What I want to do this morning is, one thing I want you to say today, that I'm a fire starter. That's what I want you to say. I am a fire starter. If you're not a fire starter, don't say it. Don't be lying on yourself in the morning. But if you are a fire starter and you know you're a fire starter, say that. And when we get into Ignite, you want to really understand what I mean when I'm saying and I'm talking about fire starter, because we all need, if you're not the fire starter click or you're in your little circle, then you need to understand that you need fire starters in your circle, because there are going to be times to where you just don't have it in you, and that fire starter is somebody you can plug into that's going to reignite or to ignite that thing that you have that's out of you, that they can unbury and put it in position to where you can be bigger, better, and stronger than either you've ever been before, or be bigger, better, and stronger in the now and in the know. So again, thank you for being here. Miss Barry, good morning. How you doing? Peace. All right, so let's go ahead and go. We're going to go with this flame. Fire starters. We are fire starters, and I want you right now to ignite the fire. So if you are a fire starter, put fire starter inside the chat. So let's go ahead and go with it. So for those that know the platform, you know and understand that we go through the definition of words, and then we give it a new meaning just with the contrast of color. So as you can see, the definition of the word ignite is to start on fire, or to instigate something, or to arouse the passions of, to arouse the passions of, excite. So that's the definition of the word ignite. But the contrast that I want you to pay attention to is white over red. Because when I asked you, are you a fire starter? The definition that I'm looking at, and the definition that we're looking at right now, is to instigate the passions. That's the definition of ignite within inside of you. So if you understand that, to instigate the passions, that's because that's what it is. Do you have the ability to instigate your passion? That's a real question that can only be answered by real people. People that understand that they're gifts, and they understand that there are purpose. They understand that there is a passion inside of them that needs to be ignited. We already have enough people in our lives that instigate the wrong things. We have enough people that are ready to instigate the drama, but when are you going to possess the ability to instigate the passions that is within inside of you, that is going to start that burning flame inside of yourself? So I'm gonna ask you again, if you are a fire starter, put fire starter in the chat, because there is there is an abundance of blessings that come after obedience. But oftentimes we want to watch to see who's going to do it first before we even have the ability to say it ourselves. So if you instigate your passions, it's not you waiting for somebody else. That's you igniting the gift that's inside of you to instigate your passion. Not just sitting here watching, but you have the ability to instigate your passions, speak it into existence. That is to instigate, to speak the passion into existence. Now we're going to talk about 4 ways to ignite. I'm going to give you 4 ways to ignite the fire. I'm going to give you 4 ways to instigate the passion. Now, I want you to remember instigate the passions all the way through. Now, as we go through these 4 ways to ignite, if there is something that resonates with you, that's the things that I want you to write down, because I want you to ignite it. When it sparks something inside of you, go ahead and put flame to it and put it out there to and as it resonates with you. 4 ways to ignite the passion. Again, to instigate the passion. So 4 ways to ignite. The very first thing that I want you to understand, that you're going to have to begin from the point of reconnection, because if there was a disconnect somewhere within inside of you or somewhere around you, then you're going to have to reconnect. That's reconnecting with the true very essence of you, not you waiting for somebody else, not you saying somebody else got it, but you reconnecting with the very true raw essence of who you are, the core of who you are, at the intimate level of who you are. Because again, I will always say it forever and a day, I am a proponent of that inner voice speaking to that inner you. Because when you're dealing with you at an intimate level, that means that you love you regardless of what anybody say about you. That means that you connect with you at a level that nobody else can. That means that you connect or reconnect with the thing that you loved about you. That's that instigation. Do you have the ability to instigate the love that you had when you was operating on all cylinders? That's the core of you. That's the intimate level of you. That's the shine of light that is so bright within inside of you. That is your inner strengths. That is your talents. That is your passions. That is your values. And you have to understand that, because when you move at a heart level, I'm gonna say that again. When you move at a heart level, it sounds funny, right? Heart. But when you move at a heart level, that means you're not waiting for somebody else to give you something because you instigate it, because that's that intimate level that you move in at a heart level. Put heart level if you feel that. Put heart level. Because when we move at a heart level, that means we're connecting with our inner being. We're connecting with that innate ability. We're connecting with our inner spirit. We're connecting with our inner gifts. We're connecting to the things that we know that's going to make our lives better when you move at a heart level. Because when you're able to verbalize what that heart level is to you, then you understand that there is a greatness that is with inside of you, and you have the ability to ignite that. Because again, remember, make sure y'all share this, because I don't want you to hoard this. I want you to share it. Don't just watch it, share it, put it in somebody else. Because if we have the ability to have more heart level people, then don't you know we have the ability to cure a lot of things, because we're operating at a heart level. We're connected to people. So when you're moving at a heart level and you have the ability to verbalize, then you're opening doors of communication and you have the ability to align with life's decisions of that comes from your true essence. That's when you're moving at that heart level. So number one in igniting is to reconnect. That's number one, to reconnect. All right, so now we're going into number two is to like the temple. That's you. If you're a temple, then you need to like the temple because you are no good for anyone if you don't even like yourself. I mean, it doesn't make sense. Not at all. Because you want somebody to like you, but you don't even like you. Nobody can connect with that. You can't even connect with that. You can't instigate what you want the passions to be, or you cannot even operate at a heart level. Man, that's deep. It just operate at a heart level. That's dope, right? You can't operate at heart level, meaning you can't even fix yourself. You can't be the self sufficient surgeon on you to operate your heart because you're trying to repair something that you haven't even repaired because you haven't even forgiven yourself. And when you possess the ability to instigate that healing process, then you may be able to like yourself. Again, that's the reconnection operating at a heart level. Like the temple that you have, because that's what you're going to need in order for you to have a nurturing spirit because you like the nurturing you because you love the nature of you. And then you will begin to treat yourself that much better because you like the temple that you're in. You're not worried about if somebody else going to like you, what somebody else is going to say about you, what somebody else is going to do to you, because you are the instigator of your passion and you're operating at a heart level. I love that heart level. You're operating at a heart level. And then number three, I want you to begin the process of living out loud. Mr. R2, what are you talking about living out loud? Now, for those that know me, I'm a soft spoken person. I won't say much unless something needs to be said, but I live out loud. My work speaks for itself. It speaks loud, it speaks with volume. Some of y'all speak out loud, you speak up, but you live in silence because nothing you say actually has come to pass. You are a vocal, boisterous person, but when it comes to your actions is silent because it doesn't match the who you are on the inside. And when you live out loud, that means you are executing those things that you know that you ignited. Because if it is the instigation, if it is the instigation of your passion, then your passion is going to be seen out loud, even without you having the ability to verbalize. People see you, but people remember you when they see the actions of you. Again, that's when you operating at their heart level and people be like, man, I feel you. That's where that come from. I feel you. That's when you're in the room and don't have to say a word because what you do lives out loud. Nothing seems hidden. Nothing seems covered up. Nothing seems like it has some sort of ulterior motive because you live out loud and the gifts that you have that you possess inside of you has the ability to tap in and to touch and to connect with other people who are other heart people, other people who operate at a heart level. Because when you give your inner voice room to play, you actually begin to give your voice the inner room to be creative. You give your voice inner room to create. You give your voice, your inner voice, a place to stay. Because when you give your inner voice a place to stay, that means you are at a heart level to where no matter where you are, you're still staying safe within side of yourself because you're standing on your square, not worried about what other people are saying. because when things flow right, you know what it feels like, right? When things are flowing in your life, then you know what that flow feels like, and because you know what that flow feels like, you want to stay in that space, and you know how to identify that space when that space actually takes place. So you're going to be flowing in that space and living out loud, because those signs that you see were signs of your dreams that can come to pass, because you're conversating with yourself, your that gut that's living out loud, that gut feeling that other people have the ability to see. And that's when you're living out loud. And the last thing that I want you to tap into now, this right here is when you begin to take your first steps without fear. That's, of course, that's faith, but faith is understanding that the more steps I take, I am already committed to the actions of it. So move into actions with abundance. That's, you're not waiting for somebody else. That's knowing that the harvest is going to take place even when you first planted the seeds. I am moving into actions with abundance. If that's where you are, or that's where you're striving to go to, then say that I'm moving into actions with abundance. That means I'm taking people with me. That means I'm not afraid, nor am I worried about who's not in the room. Again, people who know me, I'll say the people in the room are the ones that's supposed to be in the room. So I'm not worried about who didn't show up, because other heart people know other heart people, and the people that moves in the spirit and the essence of what their gifts are, they're going to connect with other heart people, and then they're going to move in abundance, because action is an essential step, and the actions with support that will turn your inner fire into a blaze. But you don't have to do it alone. You don't have to do it alone. That's when you develop relationships with those, people of accountability. And when you have those other heart people that you're connecting with, and you are now moving in abundance, then don't you know, from that moment you have the ability to multiply the harvest, because you're moving in abundance. Again, I mean, I've said this before and I'm gonna say it again. So there's two things. You have apples and you have oranges, because when you look at a orange and you plant the seed and the seed grows, that means that's an orange tree, right? But if you're moving in abundance with other heart people that are with you, and you've ignited the fire and everybody else come ablaze, then all those seeds that are being planted by moving in abundance with other people who understand who you are, and where you are going, and where the group is going, that's when it actually becomes into a orange grove. An orange tree is just itself, but a grove is an area of many orange trees. But it would not have been ignited if the first seed didn't. So ignite the fire. And I promise you, when you ignite that fire, it's going to put you in a position to be strong. And I want to ask you a question. Um, what do you want you to know about you? That's a question. What do you want you to know about you? Again, that's having those inner conversations. That's like saying, I want to be I want to be wealthy, or I want to be uh you know debt free, or whatever. So then you ask yourself that question, what do you want you to know about you? Okay, if I want to be wealthy, or if I want to start a business, what do you want you to know about you? Okay, I need to know my gifts. I need to know my talents. So then you begin to work on your strengths and you begin to use and apply those things that you know that you're good at. And then you begin to manifest those things off of your strengths. And then what do you want you to know about you? I might not be as good at this. So now you can either learn how to do that particular thing, or you can hire someone that is in that vein, or someone that is gifted to do those things that you're not so good at. So, what do you want you to know about you? So, when you're starting your fire, because there are three stages to a fire, you have like regular fire, you have your oxygen, you have your fuel, and you have your heat. So that's regular flames, regular fire. When you ignite it, you have your oxygen, you have your fuel, and you have your heat. Because if someone steals your oxygen from you, someone steals your joy, it will put your flame out. It has the ability, I'll say that, it has the ability to put your flame out. And if you don't have enough fuel, the flame will not get bigger, nor will the flame continue the process of burning deep inside of you. And without the heat, it turns cold and there is no more flame. Stop letting people steal your joy. Stop letting people steal the breath from inside of you. Stop letting people pour their fuel on your fire and expect you to grow in abundance. Stop letting people speak lukewarm words on you as if you needed those words to ignite your flame. You are a flame starter. And that's what you need to worry about. I'm a flame starter, even without anybody else's fuel. I have fuel. If it's greater than he that is within me, my fuel burns deep within inside of me. Why? Because I am a fire starter. And that's what you have to say. And that's what you have to believe in. Be that fire starter. See how many initiations of passions that you can start today. But I'm gonna leave that alone. But y'all be blessed, live out loud, and continue that process, because consistency will definitely create currency. Y'all be blessed. Peace.